Welcome to Crittenton's 133rd anniversary celebration. A night to celebrate moments that matter in the lives of extraordinary women and amazing teen girls. Featuring our 2021 Leadership Award honorees, Carissa Stanley Beatty, Cindy Benavides, Kate Goodall, Jessica Rosenworcel, and Karima Woods. Plus inspiring messages from the girls of Crittenton and other special guests. Our president and CEO, Siobhan Davenport, and event co-chairs, Brian Tremont and Kimber Minkiti, thank you for being with us tonight. So get ready. It's time to celebrate with your hosts, Crittenton board members, Latara Harris and Aaron Myers.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. Now, our chairwoman, Latara Harris, can't be with us tonight due to a family emergency, but luckily, we have a special guest pinch hitting. Join me in welcoming my bestie, my dear, dear, dear friend, Britt Waters from ABC7 and the Wizards.
Oh, thank you, Aaron. Thank you, bestie. I am so glad to be here. I mean, it's a community that I love to serve. It's a cause that's close to my heart. I mean, I've been in DC about 10 years. I meet so many young women, and what I wish for them is that they're educated, is that they're empowered, and that's exactly what you're doing here. So let's make some moments that matter.
I'm ready for that. Now, I want to say this is our second, unfortunately, virtual celebration that's not in person, because usually, people talking and eating, sharing food, this, that, and the other,
But
right?
I think everyone at home is just as dressed fancy as we are, too.
I hope so. So get out your pink jackets wherever you are so you can match me and match us all tonight. And we're so glad to be back with you here again this year, even if it's in a different situation. We've got an amazing lineup with our esteemed honorees, our special guests, student videos, and an inspiring musical performance. And I'm very happy about that, very excited.
You love music.
Absolutely. This year, we have an exciting new feature. Local artist Rashay DeLoth is here with us, and she will be working on a series of paintings during tonight's event. Everyone who donates at least $250 or above the level tonight will be entered into a raffle to win one of the paintings. Thank you, Rashay. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss a moment of tonight's celebration.
That's right, Aaron. But first, we have so many amazing people and organizations to give a huge thank you to. Our board, our champions, the many public officials who support us, former honorees, alumni, and our girls. And of course, our sponsors. You are the best.
You know what? Now let's hear a word from one of this year's co-chairs, Kimber Minkiti.
Good evening. I'm Kimber Lovett-Minkiti, a board member and co-chair for this evening's 133rd anniversary celebration for Crittenton Services of Greater Washington. For more than a century, Crittenton has been committed to empowering girls to see past every obstacle in front of them and know that they can achieve any goal that they set for themselves. I'm incredibly excited to be surrounded this evening with what I know are some of our strongest supporters, allies, advocates, champions, and cheerleaders who are committed to lighting the path so that our Crittenton girls know that they can achieve anything that they set out to. I cannot wait for the opportunity for us all to be back together in person so that we can celebrate the many accomplishments of Crittenton Services and, most importantly, our girls. Have a phenomenal evening, and I will see you soon.
I love her energy. Thank you so much, Kimber. And now let me introduce our second co-chair who is here with us live, Brian Tremont.
Thank you so much, Britt. It is great to have you here with us tonight. I'm a little starstruck. We are, of course, missing Latara, but nonetheless. I do want to also call everyone's attention to their little clappers. You all should have gotten those in your little packages, so make sure you have those out as we go through the evening to celebrate various times. As you know, 2021 has continued to be challenging for everyone, and especially for the girls of Crittenton. But Crittenton has continued to step up to that challenge as well, and I'm happy to report that our programs are now back to running in person for the girls. Of course, none of this happens without the support of generous donors like you. Everything you give tonight helps us make moments that matter in the lives of more than 600 teenage girls around our area.
Wow.
So click on that donate button up top. and help us continue to make a difference. And remember, everyone who donates more than the $250 gets entered in the raffle for the wonderful paintings that we talked about earlier.
And the paintings, they're beautiful already.
They're beautiful. I mean, they're in action. She's doing an amazing job over there.
Yes, it's only going to get better from here.
Exactly.
Thank you, Brian. Now let's welcome Siobhan Davenport, our president and CEO, and one of Crittenton's moment makers.
All right. Well, give us Siobhan.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brett. And thank you, everyone, for your incredible support of Crittenton. I'd especially like to take a moment to thank our platinum sponsors, AT&T and the VNS Foundation. I would also like to thank one of our premier champions and 2016 honoree, Kathleen Ham of T-Mobile, for your continued outreach, personal gifts, and T-Mobile Gold sponsorship. Just over a year ago, I stood here and told you about the challenges that 2020 brought to our girls. And they were many, and it was very, very hard. But because of your support, we were able to rise to the occasion from the beginning of the pandemic, keeping our programs going virtually and delivering much needed emergency supplies to our girls and their families. And now it's 2021, and well, we are still in the middle of it. 18 months of social isolation resulted in major setbacks for our girls, and the repercussions are ongoing. Families are still suffering from the economic effects as well as the health impacts of the pandemic. We have a long way to go. Thankfully, you are still here with us, helping us do the work that is so crucial to the lives of our teens. We are back to in-person programming, as Brian mentioned, and have a record number of participants, more than 600, with several new schools interested in potentially engaging with us as well. Your support has also made it possible for our staff to do deeper training this summer in trauma-informed care, plus the hiring of an additional part-time resource coordinator who is assessing much-needed mental health services for the girls. A bit about Crittenton. Our 4 programs for 6th to 12th grade Black and Brown teens serve girls in 20 schools in the District of Columbia and Montgomery County. Our goal-setting girls are We Ones for 6th and 7th graders. Sneakers is for our 8th to 12th graders. Pearls is for our pregnant and parenting teen girls. And Declare Equity for Girls is our advocacy program to lift up the voices of our teens. Our amazing program leaders meet weekly with groups of teens, in addition to performing multiple personal check-ins with them and their families. These are the women who become one of the crucial adults in our teen girls' lives, building lifelong relationships that make a big impact. The goal is to help the girls acquire the tools they need to overcome obstacles, make positive choices, and achieve their dreams. I am proud to say that seniors in our program had a 100% graduation rate this year, and 83% are continuing on to higher education or job programs. Among the girls overall, 99% advanced to the next grade, a remarkable achievement at any time, but even more so given the challenges of the pandemic. As you know, our theme this year is Moments That Matter, and I am lucky to have had many such moments in my work with Crittenton. In the spring, I was invited by program leaders to visit with some of the girls, a moment of delight that also offered a much-needed dose of normalcy in these challenging times. I also attended a middle school graduation event that one of our program leaders held for our 8th graders. It was so meaningful to acknowledge all the hard work our girls had achieved, particularly during the pandemic. I could really feel the moments of joy experienced by all of the proud family members who attended. But the moment I'd like to share with you tonight is actually a video contributed by one of our alums, Halnisha Reed. It's a moment that meant a lot to me. Please take a look.
The moment that mattered to me the most when I was a part of Crittenton Sneakers program was when I realized that everyone cares at Crittenton. It was something that I really could not wrap my head around because at that age, I already been let down by so many people in my life, and I just didn't have the capacity to trust any more people. So when I'm meeting all of these amazing people, I didn't know how to feel. I didn't think that it was real. I thought it was a gimmick, you know? And then like I started learning all of these things about myself. They started educating us about life, and I just was not expecting it. It is so hard for you to trust someone. So for Crittenton to take hold of the youth and saying, put your trust in me, and not failing, I'm just so grateful.
Talk about moments that matter. When Haunisha describes her experience with Crittenton as being the first time she had a trusted adult in her corner, it was so resonant for me, personally and professionally. On a personal level, it made me once again deeply grateful that when I was young, I had a trusted adult in my life, my paternal grandmother, who took over for my teen parents and gave me love and stability. Without that support and her intervention, I would have been that person who said, I don't trust adults. Haunisha's powerful words reinforced the meaning of my grandmother's commitment and love for me, and all it did to make me who I am today. And on a professional level, Haunisha really crystallized what this program means to our girls. We help them build resilience and coping skills by giving them the support of a caring, involved adult who sets appropriate goals and limits for them. From that strong foundation, there's nothing they cannot achieve. And once again, none of this happens without you. I am overwhelmed by the magnitude of your generosity toward girls you may never meet. I can assure you that as I appreciate you, so do our teen girls. They have learned that there is an adult community that cares about them and their well-being. That's the kind of support our teen girls need to build strength and resilience. We are so lucky to have you as a part of our Crittenton family. Although our work is hard, it is so very rewarding. On behalf of our hundreds of teen girls, thank you for helping us build moments that matter.
Wow. That was so amazing, Siobhan. It's always so inspiring to hear from you. I mean, my heart was touched just talking about resilience. I know that your grandmother is so proud of you, and we're all so grateful for everything that you do. If you were touched by some of those words as much as I am, let's build more stories like this. How do you do that? Easy. As easy as the click of a button. Click on the donate button and do it now. Don't wait till later. Do it now so we can impact even more lives. But right now, let's kick off our awards. Introducing Crittenton alumna, Jasmine Baker, who will be presenting our first Leadership Award honoree, Carissa Stanley Beatty.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jasmine, and I attended Gaithersburg High School, where I had the opportunity of being recruited to Crittenton in 11th grade. From the very first meeting, I felt as if it was a great group to be a part of. From our group leader, the wonderful Ms. Deb, and the ladies I was surrounded by, I was welcomed with open arms, which made me feel comfortable and loved. I believe I joined Crittenton at the perfect time, a time when I felt as if my world was spinning out of control. At the end of 10th grade, before I joined Crittenton, I fell into a state of depression. It affected my school life, my relationships with my friends, and it had a huge impact on my relationship with my family. I wasn't sure how I was going to get out of this state. Thankfully enough, a few months later, I met my Crittenton family and began to see how I can improve my mental health. And fortunately for me, I had and still have an amazing mentor, Ms. Deb. Being a part of such an empowering group of young women, I was able to learn how to take control of my life and, more importantly, my mental health. It was not an immediate fix. It definitely took a while. However, I can say with confidence that with the help of Ms. Deb, the ladies in my group, and my Crittenton family, I was able to get out of that state. Each and every moment spent talking with Ms. Deb during lunch bunch meant so much to me, and I'll never forget those moments. I graduated from Gaithersburg High School in 2020, and I'm in my second year in college working on my sociology and education degrees at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. I have always known that I wanted to be an elementary school teacher. However, with my recent passion for sociology, I am interested and looking forward to working with communities in need. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Ms. Carissa Stanley Beatty. Ms. Carissa received an undergrad degree in business administration from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro and has nearly 20 years of experience in banking and finance in the Washington, D.C. region. Before her current position as first vice president with Amalgamated Bank, Ms. Carissa served as director of single-family programs with the D.C. Housing Finance Agency. She developed and managed residential mortgage products and services, including the Affordable Mortgage Program, DC Open Doors, and the federally funded Home Saver Foreclosure Prevention Initiative. While speaking with Ms. Carissa, I was able to relate and connect with her on a personal level. The environment she grew up in, raised by a single mother in a rural area in North Carolina, impacted the person she is today. Her drive and passion for working hard were to ensure that she made it, not only for her sake, but also for the sake of her mother. This determination carved a path to the world of finance where she knew she would be successful. Ms. Carissa gives a lot of great advice, and I've had the chance to receive so many golden nuggets. One of the biggest takeaways I received while listening to her story was to enjoy the moments. Big or small, the moments that you experience throughout your life will shape you in the future. She says, you don't want to move so fast that you realize you don't even know what life feels like. As a young Black woman, I am always inspired by other successful Black women. Ms. Carissa told me that you can control your dedication, hard work, and hustle, and that if you weren't meant to be here, you wouldn't be here. Nobody can take away from you what you know. I admire Ms. Carissa's success, her determination, transparency, and her willingness to positively impact others. It is an honor and delight to introduce Leadership Award recipient, Ms. Carissa Stanley Beatty.
Good evening. I am so honored and proud to be a part of tonight's celebration and to be recognized in a class of extraordinary women, all of whom are leaders in our community. I want to thank Siobhan and the Board of Directors for tonight's recognition, and I want to thank Jasmine Baker, whom it was a pleasure spending time with, for such a wonderful introduction. I also want to thank Kimber Minkiti for connecting me with an organization that does such precious and invaluable work. In a society where women, and particularly women of color, are routinely marginalized, devalued, underpaid, dismissed, and overlooked, empowering young girls to value their gifts and believe in their ability to succeed provides them with a foundation from which to flourish in the face of life's challenges. As young girls and women of color, our road to success can sometimes bend and curve, but our fortitude comes from the positive things we believe and know to be true about ourselves and what we are capable of. In thinking about this year's theme, Moments That Matter, it is not lost on me that there have been a few pivotal times in my life that have really charted my course, both personally and professionally. You see, I was not fortunate enough to have crystallized a dream for myself early in life, like what I wanted to be when I grew up, or where I would go, or even what I would accomplish. I was not such a visionary as a young girl. Instead, my life unfolded in a few divine moments where God's grace met preparation and opportunity, and I just simply took a leap. I was raised as an only child by a single mother in a small town in rural North Carolina where the odds of a working-class Black girl excelling to positions of leadership in any industry were slim. And I will tell you, but for my own personal moments that mattered, I wouldn't be sitting here with you tonight. So for the beautiful young girls listening, I'd like to share 3 thoughts that I've gathered along my journey with hopes that you can use them. First, work hard. When you have had few advantages, hard work is like currency, and it can buy you almost anything. The times that I have committed and invested myself 100% are the times I've accomplished the most. Second, learn to trust yourself. This is a lifelong practice that you will get better with at time, but you're never too young to start. You will have friends and mentors along the way, and their advice will be important, but practice listening for your own inner voice so you always know how you think and how you feel about something, and let that be your baseline. Lastly, always ask the question. As young girls and women, we so often deny ourselves the opportunity to learn and grow by thinking the questions we have aren't worthy of being asked. And that is just simply not true. We deserve to question the world around us and to use that information to propel us forward. So thank you again to the Crittenton leadership and family for this incredible honor. And congratulations to this year's girls who, even during a pandemic, have reached remarkable achievements and are ready to take on the world. We are so excited for all that you will accomplish.
Hi, Crittenton supporters. My name is Tracy Toms from such movies as Rent and Devil Wears Prada and TV shows like 911, Cold Case, and Station 19. I just want to thank you all for coming to the Crittenton's anniversary celebration with the theme of Moments That Matter. I just think that's a wonderful theme. And I think, particularly right now in the world, the way it is right now, I think we've all learned over the last year and a half that the moments that matter must be cherished and protected. And I've heard so much about your organization. I'm from Baltimore myself. I'm from the DMV. I went to Howard University, so I spent many, many years in DC. And I think this organization is so beautiful. And I want to give a special shout out to the girls of Crittenton. I just want to let you all know that you guys are all beautiful, you all matter, and you are enough. And thank you all for taking part in this anniversary celebration, and I'm honored to be a part of this. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.
Wow, thank you, Trace. It's glad to have you from the DMV, and The Devil Wears Prada, obviously, is one of my favorite movies. So we really do appreciate your support. Now next, it's Crittenton alumni, Miriam Trere, who will introduce Leadership Award honoree Kate Goodall.
Hello, everyone. My name is Miriam Trahora, and I'm a 2020 graduate of Gaithersburg High School. I'm currently going to Montgomery College to pursue a future in pediatric nursing. I got involved with Crittenton when my best friend Erica invited me to a sneakers meeting. I fell in love with the environment and especially Ms. Deb's loving energy. 3 years ago, I had the great opportunity to be a part of the Crittenton Leadership Summit. There are many important lessons at the summit that I use till this day. But a moment that really stuck with me was when we made sure to advocate that women's bodies are not toys and we shouldn't be sexualized. It was a powerful message and experience that I think about again and again. I have the pleasure tonight to introduce Kate Goodall, co-founder and CEO of Halcyon. Halcyon is a nonprofit organization dedicated to solving 21st century problems by providing space, community, and access to the world's best impact ventures. Ms. Goodall has added a fund and angel investing network and various intensive programs that serve entrepreneurs from the Middle East, Sub-Saharan Africa, and U.S. opportunity zones, and support startups founded by Black and brown women. In 2016, Ms. Goodall helped establish We Capital, a consortium of leading businesswomen investing in and supporting women and women-led companies. Back when she was a teenager, Ms. Goodall wasn't sure of the endless possibilities the future could hold. But she had a great mentor who advised her to think bigger than her littlest dream and not limit herself. During my interview, I learned that prior to Halcyon, Ms. Goodall was a maritime archaeologist and worked in museums. How cool is that? And she scuba dived with many different animals in various places such as the Philippines. Ms. Goodall loves to travel just like me. In fact, we might even be twins because she knows how to speak French too. It is my honor and privilege to introduce Leadership Award recipient Kate Goodall.
Thank you, Mariam. It was such a pleasure to meet you. Your talent and compassion are inspiring. Please keep being you. The world needs many more like you. I became aware of Crittenton a few years ago and have learned more over time about this organization's critical work. Lifting up these amazing young women, making sure they know that they are already good enough, and helping them to see the incredible light and strength they already possess to be able to realize the future they want is of the highest value. Seeing each individual and ensuring that they reach their potential, that is how you make enormous change over time. I recognize the work of creating self-efficacy because that is the core of my work. At Halcyon, we provide holistic support for entrepreneurs tackling social and environmental issues through scalable businesses. We accept people from all over the world and every walk of life, always looking for people with the best understanding of the problem they're trying to solve. Halcyon entrepreneurs have created thousands of jobs, raised millions for their companies, and positively impacted millions of lives through their work. Despite the well-documented disparities in entrepreneurship, 59% of our companies have a female founder, and 69% have a founder of color. Let me tell you, all of our entrepreneurs are brilliant, and they all struggle to believe in themselves. Even the most successful seeming people, myself included, doubt their own abilities and question their own judgment. And that's a good thing. I would never want to follow someone who didn't. But sometimes, the more successful they become and the bigger their businesses get, and the more demands there are upon them, the wider the gulf gets between how they genuinely feel about themselves and the image they're projecting to the rest of the world. In that state, when so much of your self-worth comes from external recognition, any failure can feel earth-shattering. We work to meet all of them where they are, to give them the tools and confidence they need to be authentic, to be compassionate to themselves, to build healthy cultures around them, and meet the challenges they will face with real courage. Let me tell you, it's only a matter of time until we have an entrepreneur who went through sneakers or pearls or goal-setting girls. And when we do, you're going to blow them all away. If we're so lucky to have a Crittenton graduate in one of our cohorts, I will probably just turn the mic over to her. It's been a hard year and a half for so many, especially children, and those working with them or on their behalf. I'm glad we're taking this evening to celebrate all of you and honor that we've made it here. I'm beyond humbled to receive this award and be in the company of other incredible awardees, past and present. What a gift. What a lovely breath of hope. You shine in the darkness of a tough, tough time. Thank you so much. I hope to do justice to the honor you've bestowed upon me.
Congratulations, Kate. Now, recently, our girls led an important discussion about teen mental health with Montgomery County council members. We're so grateful for these council members and their support for the well-being of all in the community. Let's hear from them now.
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to the Crittenton services on your 133rd anniversary celebration. What an accomplishment. I'm Will Jawando, council member at large here in Montgomery County, Maryland, and it's an honor to be with you tonight. I want to also congratulate the Crittenton 2021 Leadership Award winners. Now, you may know I have 3 daughters and a son, but my 3 girls came first, and I'm a girl dad. And this is all about sharing moments that matter. And I'll share one from just the other day. I had 2 of my daughters, they were doing homework. They reached a challenging part where they weren't quite sure on the math problem. And I leaned in between the 2 of them and I said, I need to tell you a secret. And they said, what? And I whispered, I love you both. And they got so happy and smiled and went back to doing their project and completed the problem. And it's an example of what Crittenton does on a big scale for so many of our Black and brown young women in this county and across the region. It's giving them that love, that support, that hope, that encouragement that we all need, but particularly that our girls of color need. So congratulations and thank you for all the work that you do, and congrats on 133 years of service.
There have been some important moments in my life that have shaped who I am. I'm going to share with you 2 of those moments. The first one was in 1975 when I arrived at Benton Elementary School in Rolla, Missouri as a 5th grader from Venezuela. I was the first student ever in that school who did not speak English. It meant that I had to work very hard to learn the language on my own. But within 6 months, I was fluent and I proceeded to win the school's spelling bee. The second moment was in 2009 when I was sworn in as a Montgomery County council member, becoming the first Latina and still the only one to be elected to this legislative body. I have faced many macro and microaggressions in my journey, but I have also been inspired by the strength of women and girls like you who persevere and shine.
Hello, friends. This is Montgomery County Council Vice President Gabe Albornoz, and it is such an honor and privilege to be here with all of you, recognizing the 133rd anniversary of one of my favorite organizations in Montgomery County, Crittenton Services. As the proud father of two girls, I know how important it is to find mentors and have programs and support to make sure that they can meet their full potential. And I am proud to be the father of two girls who are thriving in our community, thanks to the incredible support that they have, not just in our family. And I want the same for all girls across all of Montgomery County. And so I want to thank the staff, the volunteers, the board members, but especially the girls themselves for taking the leap and enjoying the programs and services that Crittenton offers. You are a tremendous partner, and you have never been more important than now to address the complex social and emotional needs of our children and youth here in Montgomery County. So congratulations on 133 years of outstanding service, generational impact, and keep up the terrific work that you have been doing for so long. We are here to support you and want to make sure we got another 133 years in the future. Congratulations.
Thank you so much to our local leaders. These people are very busy, so for them to take their time and consideration and care and pour it into Crittenton, it's just amazing. We appreciate you so much. But I'm curious to check in now with our artist, Rashay DeLoach, who's here painting with us tonight. I look over and then I blink and I look again, and the magic just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Rashay is in the process of creating 4 works related to tonight's theme, moments that matter. Can you tell us a little bit about how you are interpreting the theme?
Yes, and thank you. I am interpreting the theme with 4 C's. My 4 C's are calm, courage, comfort, and coach. And the reason why I went to these 4 areas, because those things really impacted me in my life. Those moments of self-care, making sure that even in your teenage years that you're taking care of yourself, getting out there in the environment and taking it all in, also getting comfort from your mentors, courageous moments like lifeguarding, those things. My son was a lifeguard growing up as well, and coaching. I mean, even art is a sport for me, and that started with me in high school in Prince George's County. And I can remember one of my moments that mattered was when I was creating an art project for homecoming. And for homecoming, I had to do a whole mural on a fence. And the mural was made out of 4,000 cups. And can you imagine, as a 17-year-old trying to create a whole project with folks that had to paint cups, put them in the fence, a whole mural. And it was awesome. And here I am 30 years later doing a whole project for this organization, and I'm happy to support it. Thank you.
I love that you're putting purpose behind your passion. They're so colorful, but they're also meaningful. And to know that you've been doing this since you were a teen, it's just getting better and better. Congratulations to you. And thank you so much for being here to support our girls tonight. I can't wait to see the finished pieces and to see one of you win them. Now it's time for Crittenton participant, Amaya Brooks, who will introduce our next Leadership Award honoree, Karima Woods.
Hello, my name is Amaya Brooks, and I attend Dunbar High School in Washington, D.C. The first time I got involved in sneakers, I was in the 8th grade. I've had the privilege of being a part of sneakers for the past 5 years. A moment that matters to me is when I was at my lowest and the Crittenton family was right by my side. The organization and my program leaders, Ms. Zakia and Ms. Cassandra, made sure I had everything I needed to get me through those difficult times. I am in my last year of high school, and now some of the goals I aspire to achieve are to pursue a degree in nursing and to continue to be an advocate for young women that look like me. This evening, I have the honor to introduce Commissioner Karima Woods of the D.C. Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking. During our time together, I learned that Ms. Woods is both a leader and an advocate. She works to empower and educate residents and small businesses on financial matters. She educated me on how to remain financially stable throughout my future 4 years in college. Ms. Woods has a wealth of knowledge and so much to share with her community. It's my honor and privilege to introduce Commissioner Karima Woods.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Amaya, for that wonderful introduction. As Amaya so eloquently put it, I am Karima Woods, Commissioner of the District of Columbia's Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking, also known as DISB. It is my great honor to receive the 2021 Crittenton Leadership Award and help celebrate the important work of Crittenton Services of Greater Washington at their 133rd anniversary celebration. I would like to thank the Crittenton Board of Directors and President and CEO, Siobhan Davenport, for their nomination. Not only am I flattered by the award and appreciative of it, I'm also struck by the significance at a time when being a role model for teen girls and empowering them to achieve their dreams is more important now than ever. I know this in part because I have 2 teenage daughters at home. You may know that DISB is the regulatory agency charged with overseeing financial services entities that impact the daily lives of residents and businesses in the District of Columbia. At DISB, we are committed to educating district residents and business owners, and that includes teen girls, about their financial health and future. We provide summer youth internships, student loan counseling, and a host of financial programs and resources designed on behalf of Mayor Bowser to help young and senior residents alike. When I think of a moment that matters to me from this past year, it is one that affected us all personally and professionally. We all faced unprecedented times as a result of the pandemic. But in addition to managing myself and my family through this trying time, I managed an entire agency through it. I began my role at DISB just 6 weeks before the public health emergency began, and I learned so much. Perhaps the most valuable lesson was about the importance of maintaining a vision for success regardless of circumstance. My DISB colleagues will tell you that I am a lover of quotes. So as we gather together virtually this evening, I would like to conclude my remarks with a quote from Dr. Maya Angelou, a prolific African-American woman writer, poet, and civil rights activist, who said, "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it." This message is particularly important for the girls of Crittenton as you learn to overcome obstacles, make positive choices, and envision your own bright futures. Thank you again for bestowing me with the 2021 Crittenton Leadership Award. It also stands out as one of the moments that matter to me this year. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Julie Tendell, Seneca Valley High School, class of 2025, and I'm a Crittenton girl. My moment that mattered as a Crittenton girl was when I realized that I could trust my group leader. She was always so nice. She made us feel safe. She made you feel like you could trust her, and you could. And I really value that.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm from Briggs Cheney Middle School. I'm a Crittenton girl, and my favorite thing to do is meet with new people.
Hi, my name is Skylar Turner from John F. Kennedy High School, class of 2023, and I am a Crittenton girl. My favorite moment is when we get invited for leadership training and all the advice they gave to us and all the good goodies. And I just love all the advice and life lessons we learn from this program.
It's great to hear the shout out for the Leadership Summit. And of course, a special thank you and congratulations to Commissioner Woods. You are just a dear friend, and I'm so glad we were able to do this for you. And to those of you who are out there, I want to make sure that you've not forgotten where your donate button is. It's somewhere above us, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure you push that button often. And if you've already given it once, I think someone said earlier, try giving it again, okay? So that's just one of the amazing programs that Crittenton offers each year because of your donations, making a big impact on our girls. How about we take a look at who's joining us tonight? Grab those clappers. Let's give a cheer for Crittenton. They can have a clapper real quick.
I love it.
For the right now. It's so fun to see everybody. I know, don't clap around there. Throw me off. So fun to see everybody and all those multicolored clappers out there. We are really happy that you're here with us tonight. Now it's time to check in on those donations. Drum roll. Looks like we are at $8,750.
Let's get
It's a good
going.
start.
It's a good start. We can go better.
Yeah,
we can go higher.
better. Yes, I certainly hope so.
Go higher.
No, I can't do that for sure. But they can. So now let's keep it going. Your support makes a huge difference in the lives of our teen girls. So hit that button above, as Aaron's been pushing, and donate now. And remember, for the $250 level, you'll get it into the raffle for tonight's amazing artworks.
Thanks, Brian. Now, here's another special guest. She's a big supporter of Crittenton. Give it up for Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Muriel Bowser, Mayor of Washington, D.C. I'm delighted to join you tonight to celebrate Crittenton. When I reflect on this year's theme, Moments That Matter, I think about some of the moments of the past year that gave me hope. Moments like the one just a few weeks ago when I cheered on some of the first young children in D.C. as they got vaccinated against COVID-19. Or when I celebrated International Day of the Girl at Excel Academy, our only all-girls DCPS school. Or a few weeks before that, when we opened the brand new Banneker High School, where so many of our young people, especially our young African American women, have the opportunity to develop and celebrate their excellence. It strikes me that so many of these moments involved celebrating our young people. But that is what young people do. They inspire us and give us hope. So I want to thank everyone at Crittenton for your work to support and empower African American girls in our community. I also want to thank and congratulate all of tonight's honorees, especially Karima Woods, the Commissioner of the D.C. Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking. Throughout the pandemic, Karima has gone above and beyond to keep our community connected to care, to provide financial guidance and support to residents during these times, and most recently, to help us launch a $95 million health equity fund that will help us transform the health landscape in Washington, D.C. So thank you, Commissioner, and have a fantastic evening.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser, for joining us tonight and for your tremendous leadership of the district. Now, we do have a few words from a current Crittenton participant, Jasmine Jones, who's one of our all-stars, and a personal friend and a tremendous leader of the FCC, and our Leadership Award honoree, Madam Chairwoman Jessica Rosenworcel.
Hello, my name is Jasmine Jones. I'm a junior at Paint Branch High School, and this will be my third year in the Crittenton Sneakers program. The theme of this year's annual event is Moments That Matter. I've made so many moments that mattered since I first started the Sneakers program, but to save time, I'd like to just share one life-changing moment that could have never happened without the help of Crittenton. It was when I had the opportunity to be a part of the 2020 Crittenton High Tea, which was virtual due to COVID. I was nervous because it was going to be my first time meeting new people and talking about myself after being quarantined for so long. But as soon as we got into the room and started talking, it was amazing. Everybody could relate to what I was going through, and as a teenager, I thought I was going through life alone. I felt things were only happening to me, but to hear it come from other girls made this such a life-changing moment for me. I finally knew I wasn't alone. This evening, I have the pleasure of introducing Jessica Rosenworcel, Chairwoman of the Federal Communications Commission. She has an extremely important job overseeing all the communications and media in the United States. And she uses her platform to ensure that all Americans have a fair shot at 21st century success. That includes all students having access to the internet. She encouraged me not to be afraid and to use my voice more. I love the quote she shared from Shirley Chisholm: "If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair." This was great advice because I recently started working and I want to be successful. Ms. Rosenworcel encouraged me to be more confident. She said, "Believe you can make change, then you're more likely to do it." So now, let me introduce to you Leadership Award recipient Jessica Rosenworcel.
Hello, Crittenton community, and thank you so much for recognizing me with your 2021 Leadership Award. Being given an award by Crittenton for empowering young women is truly humbling. And I know I'm supposed to talk about my work at the Federal Communications Commission that you are so graciously celebrating. But let me start by singing the praises of the organization giving me this award. Yes, I've been working to promote digital equity and opportunity for more than a decade, but Crittenton has been fighting the good fight for over 130 years. Not surprisingly, Crittenton stepped up in a big way during the pandemic. When we all went into lockdown, you immediately recognized that if the families you work with didn't have computers or an internet connection, those students would be locked out of the digital classroom. So you delivered Chromebooks to dozens of girls throughout the region and helped families pay for broadband service. And this past spring, 100% of Crittenton girls in the class of COVID graduated. You helped make that possible. Now at the FCC, we recognize that we can't achieve universal access to modern communications without the efforts of trusted local actors like Crittenton Services. But we also understand we need to have your back. We need to do our part at the national level with programs and policies that support your efforts to help get everyone connected so they have a fair shot at digital age success. That's why during my time at the agency, I have called attention to what I call the homework gap. So many students have internet access at school, but don't have reliable broadband connections at home. That makes it hard to do nightly schoolwork and keep up with education. This is an especially cruel part of our digital divide. And during this pandemic, the homework gap became an even deeper learning chasm as students who didn't have broadband were locked out of the virtual classroom. By one count, the homework gap has affected more than 17 million kids nationwide. The good news is that we are making historic progress on this challenge. We are in the process of implementing the Emergency Connectivity Fund, the largest effort in our nation's history to make sure all students have access to the broadband and devices they need outside of school. And as of this moment, the program has already committed more than $2.4 billion to help provide nearly 8 million students the devices and internet connections they need. While I'm gratified by this progress, we still have more work to do to advance the cause of digital equity in America. And that involves making an extra push to remove the barriers that have held back girls and women for too long. In this position, I have visited more computer science classes, more engineering conferences, and more boardrooms than I can remember. And the same thing strikes me wherever I go. The number of women I see is too few. That's especially true when it comes to anything involving science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM. These are the fastest growing fields in our economy, and while women are half of the population, they represent only about a quarter of the population employed in STEM fields. So when I think about how this is where the future is being built, and how technology will inform so much in our lives, I can't help but think about those classes, those conferences, and those rooms. I can't help but believe that we will do better as individuals and as a nation if they are more diverse and include more women. I'm not saying you should necessarily pursue a career in the technology sector, but I am saying there's no reason you shouldn't be able to. And as long as I'm at the FCC, you've got a woman at the nation's expert agency on communications technology who has your back and is committed to a future where all of us can succeed no matter what. So thanks again to Crittenton Services for this honor. Most importantly, thank you to the Crittenton girls watching. You are the future. You inspire us all.
My name is Shirley Montano. I am a senior at Gaithersburg High School, and I'm in Sneakers 12. A memorable moment for me and our group has been talking about our mistakes and how we can move on from that and how we can always embrace our mistakes and knowing that making mistakes is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. We're humans and we always make mistakes, but it's important how we move on from that and how we can approach things differently for next time.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Okoli. I go to Seneca Valley High School, and I'm class of 2023, and I'm a Crittenton girl. A moment that mattered being a Crittenton girl is me knowing how to communicate more because they're friendly in the group.
Hi, my name is Amina. I go to Montgomery College, class of 23, and I'm a Crittenton girl. My moment that mattered as a Crittenton girl was when we learned about time management. Now that I'm in college, I've come to realize how important many of the things we learned in group are. An example of this is time management. When we went over it in group, I brushed it off thinking I didn't really need it and it wasn't all that important. I've now come to realize just how essential and important it is in my life. I've implemented in knowing how to juggle school, work, and my social life. Another skill I learned was how to set boundaries, not only for myself, but others in my life as well. This has helped me really be assertive about my wants and needs and has helped me greatly as I'm now able to freely and openly and successfully communicate with others.
Wonderful, and thank you all for sharing. I want to thank also Anna Gomez. Thank you for sharing. Patricia Cook, thank you for sharing. And I want you to join them. And I want to thank you in advance for thinking of the number and how many girls you'll be able to help because of your donation. The reason all of us have volunteered our time, especially as board members, is to ensure our girls get the resources that they need so that one day they can be the doctor that you go and see, or that president. They might be giving a wonderful speech or changing the world. So we need your donations to help us today and right now. Let's exceed the goals. Whatever goal you think we have in mind, I want you to think of helping us exceeding it today, all right? Now, we've got a very special performance by a dear friend of mine and a friend of this organization, Miss Imani Grace Cooper. And she just actually put out a new record, I think 2 weeks ago, called King. We are dedicating this performance to all of our girls, past, present, and future.
Hello, my name is Imani Grace, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for sharing what I believe is one of the fondest notions known to man, and that is love. Love goes far beyond romance and even the household, for love starts in the heart.
What the world, what the whole world now is love. What the world needs now is love. Sweet love.
Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. But what the world needs now is love. That's the only thing, there's just too little of. Sweet love. Lord, we don't need another meadow, 'cause there are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. But listen, if you really want to know what the world needs now is not just for some, but for everyone. Oh, love.
Wow, Britt, wasn't that beautiful?
I love that. I'm just so calm to listen to that. The white background, her voice, it was beautiful.
Getting our inner Zen on here. I'm going to actually hop on the Instagram afterwards and follow her, Amani.
For sure.
Grace _ music. So get on the Instagram chain and support a great local artist. Go after that album, I guess. Anyway, it's time to check in our donations. Oh, we've made some progress, Britt. Looky here.
Ooh.
$16,500, so almost double our earlier number. Thank you all so much. I want to call out my good friend Danielle Thuman, who came through with a donation, Sarah Benson, Shayna Thompson. We really appreciate all of your generosity tonight for this very important work. And let's keep on building moments that matter.
Yes. Also, a shout out to more of our donators, Denise Jones, Jared Smith, Nicole Wharton. That is just amazing that all of these people are just increasing that number. So let's keep doing it.
Bump it up.
Hit the donate button. I mean, a lot of us have work tomorrow. People are going to ask you, what were you up to last night? Yeah. You can say you're watching a basketball game, or you can say, I was helping change lives. I was donating and being a part of a moment that matters. Do so by donating.
And you can watch the basketball game afterwards.
And you can do both.
Your excuse. Exactly.
Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce Crittenton participant Yannica Mejias, board member Antonio Tejerino, and our final Leadership Award honoree, Cindy Marisol Benavides.
Hello, my name is Yannica Mejias. I am a senior at Gaithersburg High School. I got involved in Crittenton by being part of the sneakers program at school. I participated in my first high tea, and from then on, I've been involved in all the events Crittenton has hosted, especially over the pandemic. This year's theme is Moments That Matter. A moment I realized that mattered was during the pandemic. Miss Isabella, my sneakers coordinator, would drive around all day using her spare time and her own money for gas to deliver supplies to us when we would be in need. She did it from the bottom of her heart to make sure all of her girls were doing well. Whenever I needed emotional support, I would go to Miss Isabella and tell her what I needed. She would always have an answer and find a way to solve my problems. One of my future goals is becoming a nurse. I love helping others and making sure everyone's health is good, especially in the Latino community where there are many struggles. I have the honor tonight to help introduce Cindy Benavides, LULAC Chief Executive Officer. Cindy received her Bachelor of Arts degree from Virginia State University, where she graduated valedictorian and studied political science with a minor in Spanish. She has also attended American University for her master's degree in international affairs. Some things I learned from Cindy during the interview was that a special person in her life once told her that she was going to be a CEO one day and will be leading an organization. She didn't believe the person because she was just starting her career, but those words stayed with her. She has many role models in her life and wants to make sure to mentor and share those stories with other young girls and women. Something that impressed me about Cindy was that her main role model was her dad. He taught her the importance of listening and had high expectations for her. As an immigrant family, her parents knew the struggles of coming to a new country, starting over, and not knowing much about a new culture. They did it for her and her siblings to allow them to have a brighter future. It is now my pleasure to introduce Crittenton board member and the president and CEO of the Hispanic Heritage Foundation, Antonio Tejerino.
I'm Antonio Tejerino, and as a Crittenton board member, it is my great privilege to present the Leadership Award and welcome Cindy Benavides to the Crittenton Familia. A true leader, a role model, a proud Honduran immigrant, Cindy is authentic in her service to our communities through a career of public service, especially to youth and young women of color. And when I say authentic, I'm saying real. She lives her commitment in every single way. She is currently Chief Executive Officer for the League of United Latin American Citizens, or LULAC, which is the oldest Hispanic civil rights organization in the country. Previously, she was Vice President of Field and Political Operations for Voto Latino, National Director of Community Outreach for the Democratic National Committee, and Latino Liaison and Director of Gubernatorial Appointments for Governor Tim Kaine. But her commitment goes beyond her job as she holds numerous board positions and is a mentor to countless young people and young women. Please welcome my friend, my sister, my leader, Cindy Benavides.
First and foremost, congratulations for celebrating your 133rd anniversary. Thank you to the Board of Directors and Siobhan Davenport of Crittenton Services of Greater Washington for nominating me for this leadership award. I know that this would not be possible without my dear friend Tony Tijerino. Tony, gracias for being an ally, an hermano en la lucha, and a real example of servant leadership. And thank you, Yannicka, for your voice. We need more of your light to uplift the plight of our communities. Moments matter. Words matter. Your voice matters. Asking matters. When I was a little girl, my grandmother, Zoila America, would call me her princesita en guerrera. Never could my grandmother, from a village in Florida, Copan, Honduras, imagine that her warrior princess would one day hold some of the top posts in state government and in the nonprofit sector nationally in one of the most powerful countries in the world. I would have never believed it myself as an undocumented girl who learned English in the 3rd grade if you told me that this is what I would be doing today. So my first ask for you today is to believe that you are a leader and that elevating your voice is what will create true change. As the first Latina CEO to lead the League of United Latin American Citizens, or LULAC, the oldest and largest grassroots national Latino civil rights organization in the country, I wake up every day to advance the agenda of the 62 million strong Latino community while also protecting, defending, and safeguarding our civil rights. I wake up every day remembering that my purpose is to serve and to use my voice to create ripples of change, and at moments use my position to create a tsunami which demands urgent action because the lives of Latinos are on the line. As a girl and a woman, one thing that was constant in my journey is that I have been underestimated. I have been told no multiple times. I was told I would never beat the odds. I was even told not to go to college. There will be moments in your life where you will have to decide if you push through the limitations placed on you by others. And sometimes those limitations are placed on yourself by your own beliefs and mindset. My second ask to you is that no matter how hard and uncomfortable, I want you to understand that the obstacles in your path will make you stronger, and you can use them as learning moments. As you evolve, question your beliefs, uneducate and re-educate your mind, and transform institutions and models to ones that are centered with us as the creators and innovators. As I conclude, the American dream, el sueño americano, should not be a distant ideal, but instead an attainable goal, and it is through concrete work that we can make that a reality. We cannot walk alone, but I believe that with you, as our leaders, we can tangibly change society. These past few months have shown what can happen when we unite and stand together, shoulder to shoulder, and lock arms to create change. Believe and understand that you are meant for a greater purpose, and you are what will drive the solutions to some of our deep-rooted problems in society, including combating poverty and racism. Never forget the power of words, and that you can radically transform our world by using your voice for change. Our actions today will determine our tomorrow. Let's together reaffirm our nation's truth that guides us through our dark valleys. Out of many, we are one. Let us together create a new narrative and place our ordinary acts into the hands of an extraordinary God. Let us together remember that when you empower girls, you empower the world. Let us be reminded that together we rise, for we soar like eagles even when we are oppressed. And when they tell us no, and in the words of Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, we say, sí se puede. Yes, we can. Gracias. Thank you.
Akari Hall, Kelly Miller Middle School, class of 2025, and I am a Crittenton girl. Crittenton helped me develop my social skills, improve my speech, and speak my mind while staying true to myself. I am forever grateful and I will cherish these moments.
My name is Faith Agavi, and I'm from Benjamin Banneker Middle School, and I'm a Crittenton girl. I enjoy the sneakers program because I get to meet all sorts of different people.
Hello, my name is Yancy. I was part of Crittenton Sneakers program from my freshman to senior year of high school at John F. Kennedy High School in Silver Spring. My most memorable moment is probably when one day in group we were tasked with putting together a list of our positive qualities. The reason that was our most memorable moment is probably because it was one of our most challenging, surprisingly, because I had always attached my self-worth to my accomplishments. So that really gave me an opportunity to see myself outside of just what I could do and how well I could do it. And since then, it's been something that I rely on whenever I'm facing a challenge or, just having a hard time identifying the things that are good about me outside of my accomplishments. I refer back to that. So that definitely was a turning point in my life.
Siobhan, it's just so powerful to hear about these so many turning points that Crittenton has created for our young girls, about their experiences and see what impact Crittenton has had on their lives. As our celebration is about to wrap up, we got about 5 minutes left, I do want to ask you again to hit the donation button up above to help ensure that all young girls in Washington have a bright future. So it's not just 600, it's 800, it's 1,000, it's throughout the metropolitan area. So it's more important than ever at this critical time for our country. So.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Brian, and really appreciate your leadership, and thank you for all you do for Crittenton. Now, we would like everyone to raise a glass
and come on
and
up.
Toast our honorees, and we're inviting Britt.
All right, so let's check back on the donations first.
Okay.
All right, let's see now. So for the live appeal, a little bit of a drum roll, please. $22,475, exceeding our goal. And, okay, well, that was a little early because, in addition, we had a bunch of donations in advance, as well as our wonderful sponsors. In total, we've raised $322,475. There we go. Oh, cheers, everybody. Cheers, Britt, Aaron, congratulations.
Cheers.
To everyone. All right, let's see how Roché's doing. How's it going over there?
Oh, it's coming along.
We need to get you some champagne or something. I think you've earned at least that.
Oh, yeah.
They look great. They look great. So we will still be taking donations, as you might not be surprised to learn. And as you'll recall, $250 or more will enter you into the raffle for the paintings. Yes. And that'll be drawn during the week, and we'll email you the 4 winners.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brian. And thank you so much, Britt and Aaron, for hosting with Brian tonight. It's been so much fun. Now let's turn this back over to Britt and Aaron to wrap things up.
Oh, what an amazing night.
Absolutely.
It feels good in here. Thank you so much. And let's have one more toast to everyone for helping make moments that matter. Let's hear those hand claps.
Everyone, thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night.
Have a good
night. Good night, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Way to go,